Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Harry Malone, President of the Board of Directors.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. I'd like to welcome all of you to our 13th annual Foundation of Friends breakfast. Thanks for being here. Before we begin the program, I'd like to introduce some very special people. First of all, I'd like to introduce or thank our table captains and our board members and our trustees who are here this morning. And it's not here in the notes that they gave me, but I think that we need a special call out to the staff of the Boys and Girls Club who have put this event together. Thank you, folks. Thank you very much. As you can imagine, it takes them more than a little time to put together an event like this. This event would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. We have two sponsors who have supported this event every year for the last 13 years. Coca-Cola Bottling Company of Northern New England, over there, they're sitting at that table. People's United Bank as well. And I'd like to also thank three additional event sponsors, the accounting firm of Baker Newman Noyes. Thank you. Cohen Investment Advisors. Thank you, Dan. And the folks at Brandit Marketing Solutions. Thank you. All right, before we start our program and hear from our speakers, let's meet those bright and cheery people who greeted you this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the members of the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester. All right, folks, if I can have your attention again. Hello everybody, it's my pleasure to introduce two special guests who are with us this morning. First, please join me in welcoming our governor, Maggie Hassan.
Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you, Harry, and the Board of Directors for including me this morning and for everything you do for the Boys and Girls Club and, by extension, the City of Manchester and the state of New Hampshire. To Diane, Raymond, thank you and your staff as well for everything you all do. Mayor Gatzis, it is great to be here with you. I also think Councilor Chris Pappas has joined us this morning. I know there are lots of local elected officials, so I want to give them a shout out as well. To everybody who is here, who supports and volunteers to make the Boys and Girls Club work possible, thank you too. The Boys and Girls Club of Manchester is the largest and most affordable after-school program provider in Greater Manchester. And your work strengthens our communities by providing youth development programs that really help our kids reach their full potential. The programs that you offer support every aspect of the lives of young people, from education to developing collaborative and team-building skills to learning how to live healthy lives. So for all of you who are here to support this work this morning, you are truly helping young people recognize that with a strong work ethic and teamwork, anything is possible. And your work is helping to develop young leaders, not only in Manchester and New Hampshire, but across the country and everywhere else that your alumni choose to make a difference. To the young people who are here, the boys and girls themselves, the team captains, one of whom I just got to meet at our table, thank you for being here as well. And I want to take a minute just to touch base with all of you, because I think a lot of times you all may be at events where adults are encouraging you to work hard at school and pay attention to your after-school work as well. And I want you to continue to do that, but I also want you to know that one of the reasons we all do that is because as we talk with each other, as we work to develop businesses in New Hampshire, we've learned that we are going to need all of you to be good at a lot of different things. To be good at all your schoolwork, for sure, but also to be good at talking with each other, building teams, looking out for each other, giving a teammate a hand when they need it, and asking for help when you need it. We know that when you do that, and when you pay attention to your health and the health of those around you, you become great community members, you become great workers, and you will have lots of choices when you become adults for what kind of work you want to do, where you want to live, what kind of life you want to have. That's why so many of us spend time focusing on programs like the Boys and Girls Club. And I just want the kids here to know that we want you to succeed not only for your own sake, but because it's important to the future of our state and the future of our country. I want all of New Hampshire's young people to have the same opportunities that all of us want for all of our own children. The opportunity to learn, to grow, and to lead, to know that with hard work you can be anything you want to be. And the Boys and Girls Club encourages that. My mom was a high school history teacher in my local high school, and she always told me that what kids need to know more than anything else is that they've got adults in their corner. And I am looking out at a room full of adults who are really standing up for kids, and really including kids as they are this morning at this breakfast, which is critically important to the future of our state. I hope that all of you continue to support the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester. The work here is incredibly important. It allows kids to focus on what they do best. It helps them change their own lives, which has a ripple effect across our communities. Your work at the Boys and Girls Club represents the all-hands-on-deck spirit that is New Hampshire, and it proves that when we all work together and care for each other, we all get stronger. Your work is also not just important for the individual lives of the children that the Boys and Girls Club works with, but what we know is that as we make it possible for kids to learn all of the lessons that the Boys and Girls Club teaches, it strengthens all of us, and it's critical to our future. Democracy is about bringing people in generation by generation to the center of our communities so that they can be part of the decision-making table. When we do that, when everybody's experience and perspective is included at that table, we all get so much stronger, and our democracy thrives, and our future will be strong. Please know that all of you here this morning helping the Boys and Girls Club the way you do strengthens us and will help us build a better future and help us lead. So congratulations to everyone for being here. To the boys and girls themselves, thank you for all of your hard work and determination. We look forward not only to continuing to see you after school and at the Boys and Girls Club, but to everything you're going to do in the future to make our state and our country even stronger and better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Governor. Next, please welcome our mayor, Ted Gatsis, who also would like to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. What a great spring day out there. I know we've all been waiting for it. I think there's just a little bit of snow left, but I'm sure that'll melt in the next few weeks. It's a great thing to come into a room and see so many faces that have a story about the Boys and Girls Club. A lot of us in this room probably would not be here without the Boys and Girls Club. Governor, thanks for being with us this morning. AJ, you're one of the most important people in the room. AJ's the young lady that's here from Northwest that I'm sure, as she is with all her friends at the tables, looking to make sure you all give a little bit more in this morning breakfast. Best thing about coming to this breakfast this morning, as I was leaving, my wife said, where are you off to so early? I said, breakfast. And she said, stay away from the bacon. I said, you don't have to worry. They don't serve bacon at this breakfast. This is a heart healthy breakfast. So again, for all the folks that are here, thanks for your help with the Boys and Girls Club. It's certainly a much different experience today than it was some 50 years ago. 50 years ago, it was a place that I went. My mother said, you've got to get down to the Boys Club so you get a little tougher, because I was one of those kids that lived in the North End. So as you went down there and you saw the faces of the Valises and the Spiros and the Schuberts, you got a little tougher real quick, because the Schwinn bike that you came in wasn't there when you left. And as you're visiting their houses on a given day, it was locked up next to the house. So it was easy to find, but never safe to take it there, because certainly they would take it home. But again, talk to some of the folks at the table, and I know that they have great stories of the Boys and Girls Club that they'll share with you. And as I said, without it, we wouldn't be here. So again, good luck, and thanks for being here this morning and supporting the Boys and Girls Club.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. All right, we have a packed program this morning, so we'll give you a few minutes to eat your breakfast before it gets cold. And then we'll resume our program. Thank you.
Why do I go to the Boys and Girls Club? Boys and Girls Clubs of America, we're so glad you're here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Alyssa Soucy, our 2014 Young Woman of the Year.
Good morning. My name is Alyssa Soucy, and I'm the 2014 Young Woman of the Year. I will be graduating from Central High School in June and completing all my credits in just 3 short years. In the fall, I will be attending college to pursue my degree in interior design. Last year, I started a STEP program here at the Boys and Girls Club that continues today under the leadership of Erica Jacobs. It is my pleasure to introduce to you the Boys and Girls Club STEP team.
We're the group that can be beat. And when we clap our hands and stomp our feet, we got the steps to make
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Diane Raymond, Chief Executive Officer of the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester.
Wow, what a way to start the day. Incredible. Thank you, ladies. That was just an amazing performance. My heart's racing. I don't know if it's because of the stamping or I'm nervous. Can't tell right now, but I want to thank all of you for being here today. It is truly amazing when you look around this room right now and the commitment you all have for the club, and I thank you for that before I get started. I'd like to talk a little bit about the club and our mission, but before I get started, I want to talk about our incredible staff, our board of directors, our volunteers, and especially our kids. I also want to take a moment to recognize our former CEO, Gary Frost, who is here this morning. Welcome, Gary. I am thrilled and honored to be the newest executive leader here at the Manchester Boys and Girls Club. When you think about the long history of the club and the fact there have only been 2 executive leaders in the last 50 years, it speaks volumes of what an amazing club we are. Our society has changed quite a bit over the years, and the club continues to advocate for the city's greatest asset, our children. We envision a community that leverages all of our resources in this city. From all of you, our business partners, our school district, our nonprofit organizations, our local government agencies, to help all kids, especially those who need us most. Let's think about it for a moment, how much our society's changed. Our fastest growing population of poor are children under the age of 18. This tears at the social fabric of our community and puts the economic viability of our community at risk. We're now experiencing the 3rd generation of latchkey kids. Today, parents are working longer and harder to support their families. And when the bell rings at 3 o'clock, every child in the city of Manchester deserves a safe place to go. We're way beyond the point of thinking of an after-school program as a warehouse to store our children until their parents can collect them. The Boys and Girls Club of Manchester is a source of enrichment and empowerment. We're creating opportunities for all kids, no matter where they live, from the West Side to the hollows of Harriman Park, to Smith Road School, to Highland Goffs Falls. We're a place that nurtures children and provides peace of mind for families. There's over 14,000 children in the Manchester School District. The Boys and Girls Club are serving 600 a day. If they're not at the club, where do they go? This is something I think about each and every day. The Boys and Girls Club of Manchester is doing their part, not only to create a safe place for our kids, but one that challenges them, excites them, and engages them. During my first few weeks at the club, I had an opportunity to have dinner with our kids. This was a very, very special night at the club. Ken Neal was making his famous chili. Allie and Brittany, 2 5th graders, sat down and enjoyed me for dinner. And as only some kids can do, Allie asked me a question. Why is the club closed tomorrow? And when I explained, she replied, do you know on snow days I can't come to the club? And I kind of looked at her and I said, well, why? And she said, don't you know I'm poor? Well, it caught me a bit off guard, but Brittany spoke up. And she said to Allie, Allie, you're not poor, you're just not wealthy. I could see the smile in Allie's eyes. I felt Brittany's compassion. But what is amazing to me is the resilience in our children. Unfortunately today, too many children are on the verge of crisis, teetering. Did you know that 57% of our Manchester 3rd graders are not reading at grade level? Let me put that into context for you. Evidence shows children who are not reading by 3rd grade often fail to catch up, are more likely to drop out of school, take drugs, or go to prison. And we know this is important because a high school diploma is essential for gaining employment, supporting a family, And soon, a high school education is not going to be enough. A recent report that I noticed said by 2018, 64% of new jobs in New Hampshire are going to require a post-secondary degree. You may not realize that West and Central High School have the highest dropout rates in New Hampshire and lead Manchester and truancy. We need to think about this. It is unfair to expect the school district, our mayor, our school board to address these challenges alone. It's together we will have to break this cycle to serve more kids. And this is exactly what the club is doing. Helping our members succeed is an everyday action. During the last year, our clubs received 21,000 hours of academic support. This is an example of your investment at work. And like all investments, we want to see a great return. Did you also know that 47% of our public school children are eligible for free lunch? This means I have to repeat this. This means almost half of our school-age children are living below 130% of poverty. In our Title I schools, Bakersville, Beach Street, Wilson, which are just down the road from here, 72% are receiving a free meal. Food insecurity is real in our communities, and studies have demonstrated nutrition is closely linked to cognitive development. Last year, with a partnership with the New Hampshire Food Bank, we were able to serve over 10,000 breakfasts and 30,000 dinners to our members and their families for no charge. Thank you. This year, we're feeding more children than ever. Since September, we're up to 19,000 dinners to our members and their families. Join us for dinner. Yes, healthy meals and academic support have become an important component of our mission. But at the heart of our mission are our children. They need to feel that they belong, that they're okay, they can be themselves. Our staff creates, builds, and fosters relationships and understands how important it is for our kids to have positive role models. Our mentoring program that we have at the club matches our staff members with club members, providing the one thing kids truly want from our staff: time and attention. During my first few weeks, a young girl named AJ bounced into my office and asked if I had a mentee. I smiled, feeling a bit frazzled. I told her, right now, I need a mentor. She offered to be my mentor, and since that day, she comes into my office and checks on me. In fact, she's here this morning. AJ, would you please stand up? Oh, AJ is an example of strength. She's an example of compassion, and she represents all our members. She reminds me that children possess such power to enrich our lives. You know, I recently asked AJ, what does she love about the club? And she said, I can be myself, not the shadows behind me. We want our kids to be the person who's guiding those shadows. The path that we provide at the club focuses on academic success, good character, leadership, and healthy lifestyles. We're molding the future leaders of our society, and I believe so strongly that the kids that rumble through our doors every day will work in those high-tech jobs in the mills. They will keep our streets safe. They'll teach the next generation of students at Beach Street, and they will be the leaders and the mentors of tomorrow. The kids sitting at your table today are the future, and the Boys and Girls Club is a place where they belong. Wherever you are today at 3 o'clock, pause, think about where the kids in this city are headed today, tomorrow, and in the future. You would not be here today if you were not committed to the club. And your continued support, we can honestly say their future, our future, starts here. Thank you. We'd like to share a special video with you this morning. This video demonstrates what a great place the club is, where children thrive, they learn, they grow. But I'd like to take a quick moment to sincerely thank our friends at Branded Market Solutions and Edify Multimedia for embracing the club and creating this year's video. Thank you so much.
This is the start of a very special day for the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester. In less than an hour, this cafeteria will fill with the day's first wave of children, each waiting to grab a quick breakfast, then a bus ride to school. By 3 o'clock, nearly 600 kids will fill this building. But what makes the Boys and Girls Club truly special are the programs, activities, and personal acts of kindness that play out behind the scenes every day. This video hopes to explore a few of these stories and perhaps bring to light some things you never knew about the Boys and Girls Club of Manchester.
I think they teach us here at the Boys and Girls Club that to respect people and not to judge a book by its cover.
Boys and Girls Club treats my daughter like a whole person. They don't treat her like she's mentally retarded. They look beyond the disability.
I put the time in with Monica because I know it's gonna make a difference.
Now that Monica's been coming here for 8 years, the Boys and Girls Club has given her an opportunity to have blossomed into a young teen, not have so many worries about people picking on her, and to just be a happy person.
Monica is herself here, and she knows she can be herself, and other kids see that, and you know, they come out of their shells because they know they can be themselves here.
When she walks in here at the Boys and Girls Club, her smile on her face, it's amazing.
Having Monica here at our club shows our members that to be accepting of one another, to love a little more and to do a little more for one another.
When I see Monica and Yashira together, it's like 2 peas in a pod. It just makes my daughter really happy.
She comes here and she's just excited to be here, and it makes you excited to do your job and what you're doing. And you know, kids like Monica lets you know that you're making a difference. You're making a big difference.
I dream for my daughter, Monica, to become an amazing young lady. One day be able to make it on her own and take in everything that the Boys and Girls Clubs offered her and showed her to become a young woman and just being powerful, and not let nothing hold her back.
I am Monica and I am awesome.
Monica teaches me every day just to live every day with passion and love everything that you're doing. She's awesome.
I like having dinner here because it tastes good and just like reminds me of dinner at home.
20 years ago, the Boys and Girls Club was filled with neighborhood kids. Kids would walk here after school. That isn't the case anymore. We need to get the kids here. The kids need to get here. Parents need to get them here. Transportation makes this club work. Transportation allows us to reach kids on the south end, the west side, bring kids to a place that they need to be at to be safe and happy. On our buses, we bring probably close to 300 kids here right after school. City buses bring another 50 or so kids here. Food has become a huge part of our program. We serve 150 dinners a night, between 60 and 75 breakfasts every morning, and we give a snack after school to every youngster who comes here.
The Boys and Girls Club provides me with everything that I need to provide for my children that I might not have been able to otherwise.
We get the meals every day, we get the transportation to and from school every day. Brianna goes to the after-school program at Jewett Street School, and that offers us one-stop shopping. We drop her off in the morning and we know she's safe and secure until we pick her up at night.
Kids get it all here. They get the caring and the love from the staff. They get fed a meal at night, fed a meal in the morning. You know, like I said, we're there when parents can't be, and we're a surrogate family for these kids.
I go to the after-school program with my friends to have fun with them every single day.
The best way to reach kids is right after school.
I like the fact that the Boys and Girls Club is here in South Manchester because it saves me time.
Even with transportation, we can't service every school. So we, in an attempt to reach out to more kids, we have programs in 2 of our schools, Jewett Street and the Highland Gospel School. 65 kids a day go to the Highland program, 50 kids a day go to the Jewett program. They stay right at the school. It's a mini Boys and Girls Club in the school after school.
At the end of the day, when I know that school's out and Braden's going downstairs to be with the great people at the Boys and Girls Club after school program, I'm not worried.
Having kids stay in the same building, come into the after school program, it makes it easier because if there is an issue with homework, we do get to go see teachers.
The whole program helps me be a better mom because we have the continuity, because we have homework done, because if I have a concern, I can take it to the staff and they collaborate with me to find an answer. Having them be here at Highland Gospels after school, it's easier pickup. It's in our neighborhood. I don't have to spend the time away from family time going to the bigger club and coming back.
We need neighborhood Boys and Girls Clubs for our children that's close to home, safe, comfortable. We definitely need more of them. When I can't be around or my husband can't be around, for him to be with people like the staff at the Boys and Girls Club after school program. If it can't be us, I'm glad that it's them, you know? So I wouldn't want it any other way.
The staff here at the club care about how I do at school. They make sure we're safe and that we're doing good in school.
The staff help me with my homework and they care about me because they want to see my grades up and help me get a good education.
Grades weren't really important in my household, but then coming here to be in clubs and be involved, you need good grades, so that really motivated me.
Learning Center gives the kids the building blocks to make it to the next step and just go on and on and on and to feel good about themselves while they do it.
The best way that we know a kid has done great here at the Boys and Girls Club is when they graduate high school. You know, where they're cheering their names and they get those diplomas, and it's one of the best feelings knowing that you've been part of that.
And when you come here, you kind of feel like unstoppable. I think that's why kids come here like for the majority of the day right after school.
A lot of our teens come here and this is the first time that they're gonna hear about college.
I don't know, for a kid that's been told, oh, you know, college isn't for everyone, being that kid that was like, oh, you know, college isn't for me. And be able to go in college and be like, you know what, I'm really smart. Like, you know, like, you're not that kid anymore that thinks, oh, after high school, I'm gonna just be like working like 12-hour shifts or working like a temp job or something.
When I see kids that are successful, just to see the change in them, that how they see life and staying positive, and it's just very important because we know that we've done something good.
I'm graduating college because the Boys and Girls Club gave me the motivation, gave me the inspiration that I could. They gave me that push. They said, you can do it, Catherine. Like, you can graduate. And I'm doing it. I'm graduating college.
This video began by saying that this one day was a very special day. The truth is, what makes the day special is that this same day repeats itself 241 days a year. You see, every day looms large in the life of a Manchester parent who knows their child is safe. Every day is a special day when someone hungry gets fed, or when someone finds direction and inspiration from a mentor.
I just like this place. I mean, I just love it. I think it's awesome. When you make new friends, it's just like, wow, it's fun here.
I just love my job. I love my staff. I love the kids. And that's what I look forward to every day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marc LeBeau-Latande, our 1974 Boy of the Year and 2011 Hall of Fame inductee.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for your kind applause. Governor, Mayor, dignitaries in the room, volunteers, staff, and more importantly, all you kids out there, hey. I just want to take a moment to pause because that video represents what this movement's all about. Before we can go forward, we have to look back sometimes. And it's a privilege and an honor, along with my bride of 35 years, Judy, to join you today to share just a brief story of my life through the Blue Doors, but also recognize that I'm here as a voice of the faceless children that have gone through those Blue Doors and have moved on to successful careers elsewhere. I'm excited to be here because 3.5 years ago, my last homecoming, it gave me a snapshot of how well this city is coming out of the recession. I'm excited because the governor's here. Heck, in my state, the governor's slashing education funding. Not so good. Kids are our backbone. I promise you, what you leave behind today in your commitment to the club will pay for the future and success of Manchester. So, in full disclosure, and Mayor, thanks for teeing me up, how did I come by the name LeBeau? Well, for all you Hogan's Heroes followers out there, they happen to be a little French guy. And let's just say he refined the art of procurement when things were needed by Hogan and his crew. Mayor, I was not in charge of your Schwinn. But I want to share with you how important it is to know the effect that staff has on our children of Manchester. Because back when my parents entrusted the club with my life, as you saw in the video, the story isn't really new. The faces and the names have changed. Back when I was growing up, we had single parents families. We had divorced parents. We had parents working the mills 2 shifts to put food on the table. That's nothing new to this city. As a matter of fact, you should all be proud of the fact of the success that has come from this city because of the work commitment of this great mill town. But coming through the doors, Hall of Fame inductee Lillian Chartier, the librarian at the time, took time to sit me down because I had a propensity for transposing words when I read. Through her patience and calmness, she turned me on to how to read correctly for the very first time. As a youth, I was struggling, too proud as a French Canadian to admit it, but nonetheless needing help. I didn't stop there, though. I moved on to my hyperkinetic energy down to the gym and athletic director Ken LaPointe, who, along with the Bayless boys, Jimmy Trunsolito, John Raleigh, you kind of know, we became the Sclubbers at the time. That was our name, but we were proud to be part of the Manchester Boys and Girls Club. I burned a lot of energy off with Ken. Probably added to a lot of his gray hair. And then upstairs on the second floor, another Hall of Fame inductee, Dick Jarvis, took it upon himself to show me how to use vinyl gimp, pour plaster of Paris figurines, took the time to teach me how to do ceramics and glaze. Those are things that are near and dear to me. You can't take that away. And it was all because back then, there were folks like you in the audience opening their wallets to support, back then, what was the Manchester Boys Club. So the city has grown. The challenges have become more and more daunting. I promise you, you have a first-rate staff. You have a top-notch CEO. And now it's incumbent upon you to make that decision this morning. So I'm kind of preaching to the choir. I get that. You're all here because you know. But your friends may not know. Don't let this morning stop the momentum of passing the word along. I would like all of you to become the apostles to the Manchester Boys and Girls Club. Spread the word. 600 kids a day. Sobering numbers that I heard. Sobering numbers of how the city has to feed kids. Our future. But together, we can rally, we can do good things. I promise you, I am a byproduct of the Boys Club. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be celebrating my very blessed 38th year in professional baseball. And yes, I had to move on from Manchester, but my heart was always here. In full disclosure, another thing, because I'm in the middle of Sox Nation, it took me 8 years to realize I was working for the wrong team, okay? I was so embarrassed I had to go all the way to the West Coast in San Francisco to make amends. And now I'm in charge of all the medical for Major League umpires. A job created by me from the skills I learned on Union Street. Imagine that. That makes me feel good. That should make you feel good. It takes a city to raise a child. I'm challenging you this morning to step up and do that. And with that, I'd like to call up Brian to help me out with the most important thing in the morning.
Thank you, Mark. It's a pleasure to have you and Judy with us today. Well, at this time, we've got a lot of kids that are going to head over to the Fisher Cat game. So we got to get these kids, all of your table mates, off to school. So I'd like to invite all the table mates to head on out the door and go enjoy the Fisher Cats game. And thank you all. Yeah, thanks. This morning, our goal was to show you what a typical day can look and feel like at the Boys and Girls Club, and in the process, to demonstrate that we touch the lives of over 600 boys and girls every day, and we also affect their families. Whether this is your first Foundation of Friends breakfast or your 13th, I ask that you join us in making one of the most important decisions and most important financial investments that we can make. And that's an investment in our future and the investment in those kids that are walking out the door right now. In a few moments, our table captains will be passing out newly revised pledge forms and personalized Champion for Kid envelopes. At this time, I'd like to briefly explain these forms so you understand what you're looking at. In section 1 is our Champions for Kid section, and a Champion for Kid is someone who commits to give $1,000 a year for a 5-year period to support the Boys and Girls Club. The reason that the Champions for Kids Society is so important is that it assures a consistent, significant, and stable revenue stream that enables us to invest in our kids in the club with confidence. We currently have close to 100 Champion for Kids in the Champion for Kids Society. And so if you see some blue name tags, some white name tags with a blue around it, that signifies someone who has supported the club at that level. Section 2 is the section on that pledge form for new gifts, new pledges, and a new way of giving, a monthly giving section. And we understand and respect that we all have different levels that we can support the Boys and Girls Club. and every gift is significant in sustaining and developing the club's mission for its members. In this section, we offer you an opportunity to make a one-time donation or donate monthly, which can be an easy way to provide continuous support to the club. And there's also an opportunity to write in your own amount. Section 3 of the pledge form is for those who already pledge, perhaps at a multi-year donor level, or if those that wish to maintain or increase that gift. And Section 4, of course, is just the payment information and how you'd like us to manage your gift. All levels of support are truly appreciated and allow us to advocate for and empower our children and our families within this community. So thank you for considering a gift to support our kids. Yes.
So Brian, let's get this started the right way. On behalf of Judy and myself, I'd like to start the donations for a check for $1,000.
Oh, thank you.
For the breakfast.
Thank you, Mark. Now, I'd like to invite the table captains, if you could just hand out the pledge forms and the Champion for Kid envelopes at this time. And when you're finished, please hand those back to your table captains. Thank you. I know that many of you are still completing your pledge forms. However, before we conclude, I would be remiss if I didn't offer a thank you. Time is the most precious thing that anyone can give, and you've given us a wonderful gift this morning, and that is 1 hour of your time today. And we appreciate that. I hope that you've been inspired by our work, the work that's being done at the Boys and Girls Club. Whether you join our champions as a Champion for Kid, create a monthly pledge, or give a one-time gift, your donation is making a difference to the kids that you saw this morning and their friends at the club. I'd like to thank Diane for your wonderful words. And I'd like to thank Mark and Judy for making the trip here and sharing your thoughts. And I'd also like to thank our table captains. They've worked very hard for the last several months to make this a success. This is the 13th Love Fest that we've held here. And it's, you know, I have to tell you that there is a palpable air in this room when people gather for one reason, and that is to help children. So thank you for taking the time to be here. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank our wonderful sponsors, Coca-Cola Bottling of Northern New England, People's United Bank, Baker Newman and Noyes, Cohen Investment Advisors, and Brandit Marketing Solutions. Once again, I want to thank you all very much for coming, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.